Okay. Don't know how this is working, but we're live. And for the first time, I'm actually implementing also um, Instagram to the live. I've been trying to do a multi stream to a lot of places, and for the first time, we're also implementing Instagram into the mix, which is a pretty big deal for me because I have never really went live on Instagram before. This is the first time for me. So far, it's looking good. What's up, Rob Swerve over there on Instagram? Well, let's see. Let me change this boxes up a little bit. Um, gotta get the chat up for both places. But let's see. Am I frozen? I look frozen on there. You're streaming SmackDown tonight, right? No, I will not be able to stream SmackDown tonight, Isaiah. I will be at work. I'm able to do this right now because obviously I'm not at work. Sorry if my voice sounds a little funky since last night I got a little sick, but it is what it is. It's all good, you know. The show must go on. I must keep doing my thing. But let me see how this looks on. Okay, so on my screen I look frozen, but as long as I look okay on there, I'm good. Drew's Queen Bee on Instagram right now. That would be Miss Tess. I know who that is. What is up, everybody? Right now, we're live on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. This is one of the first multi streams that we're doing across most of the platforms. Last night, I was live with Know Your Wrestling, and we were, just shooting the shit, just talking, talking wrestling, talking stuff that's happening in wrestling right now. And one of the topics last night was Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, their feud. And right now, I'm just gonna kind of get into it again. She says I'm good over there. Okay. This is crazy. I've never thought that I could multi-stream across all platforms. This has been a work in progress. So please, if you're following me on TikTok, you can also follow me on the other platforms. I will start doing this more often than I used to. Um, I'm gonna try to go live early Mondays, early Tuesdays, and of course, I will be back for the NXT Brawl, and then of course, I'm gonna be trying to implement the other platforms, to try to grow those as well. But you can hit the link in the link tree or the link in the bio for my, direct me, and it takes you all to all my platforms. But let's get into it. Let's talk some wrestling. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to talk some wrestling. Talk SmackDown tonight. Which what wrestler did you like as a kid and got you into wrestling? The wrestler I like, my favorite wrestler was always Triple H, but the wrestler that got me into professional wrestling was Stone Cold Steve Austin. I've said the story multiple times. One night, scrolling through the TV back in 97, 98, something like that, and what do I come across? A bald headed white guy beating up on some other guy, and from that moment on, I was hooked. Like, that was it for me. I instantly fell in love with what was going on TV, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna watch. And since then, I have been watching professional wrestling. So now I'm 35. That's what, like about 27 years now. I've been watching professional wrestling. Alan says that's cool. What's up, P. De Niro? Again, if you're watching from any other platform, let me know. I, you know, hit me up in the comment section. Um, what a story! Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's funny how sometimes when you're just like at home, you just flip through the channels. Like that's how some people find certain TV shows. Hulk Hogan got me into wrestling, says Alan. That's what's up. But let's get into the rest. Let's get into the SmackDown card tonight. This is what they have. Sparks in the live. What's up, man? But we're gonna get into SmackDown, and everybody's been talking about this quite a bit this week. Um, and I'm gonna save that for last. I'm not gonna get into the CM Punk thing right now. I'm gonna save that for last. But let's talk about LA Knight and Logan Paul. They're both making an appearance tonight, and you know, we obviously seen what they've been doing on social media, what they've been doing on the shows. They're just trolling each other. They're just getting under each other's skin. Obviously, Logan Paul calling LA Knight a mid Carter, telling him he's never gonna win a title, telling him he's never gonna be anything bigger than what he is. But it's all finally coming down to when is this match gonna happen? And everybody's predicting Money in the Bank or at SummerSlam. Me personally, they should save this matchup for SummerSlam. Obviously, tease it at Money in the Bank. Nothing really happens. Maybe Logan Paul gets disqualified or something on purpose to save his title and then go on to somewhere else. What is up, Sonya, over there on Instagram? How's it going? And Pete De Niro says Becky got me into wrestling. Nice. But yeah, so they should save this matchup for SummerSlam, but tease it for Money in the Bank, and then just have Logan Paul continue to do what he's doing to LA Knight and just keep trolling him, teasing him like you're not gonna get this title, you're not gonna get anywhere near it. I'm gonna walk away as champion every time we get into the ring, and just go from there. Don't have them collide right away. Just tease it a little bit. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm loving the way you know they're finally gonna try to give LA Knight a spot in the title picture, because the last one he had was what, against Roman for the World Heavyweight title, or Undisputed title, whatever you want to call it, and he came up short. Let's be real, he wasn't gonna win that match. We all knew he wasn't gonna win that match, but now that he's going against a guy like Logan, he has a very good chance of beating him. He has a very strong chance of walking out as champion. Hey, who won the Open Challenge? Um, Against Jordan, was it Jordan? Jordan Grace. Dang, I forgot her name. It was Jordan. She won the match. But yeah, that was like last week, man. That was last Friday. I hope LA Knight whoops Logan. Everybody's hoping that he whoops Logan. Everyone wants Logan Paul to get beat, dominated, embarrassed, destroyed, however you want to put it. And I'm all for it. And I think it's time for Logan to lose that title, because let's be real. Um, he's an entertaining person to have the title right now, because he does bring eyes to the product. He does, you know, have a lot to do with it right now. He has a lot going on, and it's actually good for LA Knight to have this many eyes on this title scene, because if they do have the match, a lot of people are going to watch, even non-wrestling fans. All the people that watch his, Logan's YouTube and stuff is going to watch. Everyone should watch out tonight on SmackDown. Yes, tonight on SmackDown, because let's be real, Logan and LA Knight in the same ring. We're not at Logan's house, so he can't call the cops on LA Knight or security, or whatever. So LA Knight has a good chance of just, stomping his head in, but we'll see what happens with that. I mean, what are y'all thoughts in the comment section? What do y'all think? Does LA Knight get his hands on him? Does what happens with that? We'll get into the YS6 in a minute, Kevin. I'm focused on tonight's card first. Are you streaming SmackDown tonight, my friend? No, I'm not. That's why I'm coming up here right now to talk wrestling with y'all, to get y'all's predictions and y'all's thoughts, because I won't be able to stream it, but I do. There's other creators that will be streaming it. You got Soto619. Know Your Wrestling doesn't show it, but he will be talking and all that about it. Did you see Twitch people were streaming TNA yesterday? Yes, I did, and we'll get into that in a minute. But again, we're talking about SmackDown. Um, So yeah, LA Knight, Logan, everybody look out for that because yeah, it's gonna be pretty dope. Low key, I think they should off till summer. Yeah, again, I think they will, which they should. Thank you for the follow, Miles. Thank you for the follow, Jose. Um, if you're watching over there on Instagram or any other platforms, welcome to the live. This is one of the first morning multi streams that we're doing. Tonight we also got a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Randy versus Tamatonga versus Carmelo Hayes. Honestly, that just sounds like a good matchup right there. Chris, what's up, dog? How's it going? Logan will troll LA Knight and get him to come out, and Logan is going to run. Pretty much. Maybe KSI shows up, maybe that speed dude shows up, and they both get mopped. I hope KO wins, or Andrea? Or Andrade, you mean, probably. I got Mello. Okay, so we got Miles. He got Mello tonight, which that's not a bad pick. Carmelo Hayes is not a bad pick at all if you're, you know, trying to get younger talent over. And and then the wise woman Tess says, "I got Daddy Randy." All right. So we already got two people. No one's going for Tumatunga in this. Let's be real. Randy, Tumatunga, I think they're going to focus on beating each other up. That I do feel Carmelo Hayes has a strong chance of going in and stealing the win. Um, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because like I said, they're gonna be focused on each other, and since it's a triple threat match, there's no rules. So Bloodline, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, they can all show up in this matchup and they can all interfere. And that's why I say Carmelo Hayes could just scoop like whoever's laid out. He can just go in and do a roll up, steal the win, and go from there. I feel like the whole situation with Randy and the Bloodline will interfere, so Melo will steal it. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going. What's up, Wiccan? How's it going? And that's why I said that Carmelo Hayes has a very good chance, very strong chance at that, to steal the dub. Like he could get beaten up for a little while, roll to the outside, everyone focus on each other, beat each other down, roll up Tomatungo or Randy Orton, and just take the dub. Because we already seen Carmelo go against Randy, I believe, and then he hasn't faced Tomatunga yet. But Randy's been wanting to get his hands on Tomatunga since they beat him down. Then we saw the altercation last week in Glasgow. Both nights, Smackdown and Clash of the Castle. What's up, Pedro? Thank you for joining us on Instagram over there. Appreciate that. So, a lot can happen in this one matchup. Cody shows up, Bloodline, KO, anybody, right? And that's why I feel like, there's a strong possibility that that happens. Um, I mean, does anyone else have any other predictions on that match? Because we could see Carmelo Hayes join this, Money in the Bank ladder match. Because we already see that, you know, Jay's pretty much already solidified his spot in there. And I believe Seth Rollins has already said that he wants to go and qualify because he wants to earn his spot back into the title picture. He just doesn't want to come back and just take, a spot. He wants to earn it. And, when it comes to ladder matches, briefcases, Seth Rollins has one of the best cash ins of all time as well. I believe I want to say Randy's held that briefcase before once, and the other two guys could benefit from it as well. But I don't think Tamatonga, just yet. Carmelo Hayes obviously has established himself in WWE through NXT and the little time he's been on the main roster. So we'll see what happens with that. Everybody that's joining in right now, if you can, please share the live wherever you're at on Instagram, uh, everywhere. It's all much appreciated. It all helps out. I got people messaging me. um, but let's see. Last night, me and Know Your Wrestling were talking about a lot of this stuff, and obviously Monday night Seth came back, and I want to say thank you to P De Niro for that. I feel like Seth's probably not gonna get the title until after SummerSlam. He may not. Yep. In 2013, Randy did have the briefcase. I thought so. He cashed in, I want to say, on Daniel Bryan, didn't he? Um, I believe that was it. Daniel Bryan, or he cashed in on Cena. One of the two. I remember Triple H pedigreeing somebody, and that's how Randy Orton won it. Oh, yeah, he did. Randy came out, pedigreed to Daniel. 1, 2, 3. That was it. And then another infamous time was when KO was going for the title, and Triple H pedigreed Seth Rollins and gave KO the title pretty much. Like, so Triple H is notorious. If you see Triple H anywhere near a title match, then then everybody be worried, because that's he's gonna cost somebody that title. What if Uncle Howdy makes Jay fall off the ladder? Um, that's a good prediction, but I don't know how involved Uncle Howdy will be with Jay Uso right now, because Jay Uso pretty much gave up already. I don't know if you saw after Raw, but he pretty much said, "Hey man, y'all see that? He back. They back." And he pretty much gave him back the Fireflies. He doesn't want the Fireflies no more. He's like, yeah, they can have it back. I'm good. Wasn't Triple H a special guest ref in both matches? I believe he stepped into the KO one, but he was a special guest referee during a Daniel Bryan match, which helped Randy Orton cash in that briefcase. So yeah, he was officially the ref in the Daniel Bryan match. And Daniel won, and then that's when Randy cashed in. Was it Daniel or was it Roman that he cashed in on? Somebody correct me if I think it was either Roman or Daniel. I can't remember which of the two. But I want to say it was Daniel. Did you see that WWE filed to trademark the name Talatonga? Yes, they are signing another big Samoan. And Dinero says, I think it was Daniel. Yeah, they did trademark it. They are bringing the another member from New Japan that was in there with Tongaloa and Tomatonga. They're bringing him, I believe. But everybody's waiting for Jacob Fatu. I believe everyone is waiting for Jacob Fatu. And I can see why. Because if you haven't seen Jacob Fatu, it's crazy. Everyone. Sorry, I'm writing a message on TikTok right now. Let's see. Do you see Hikuleo coming to WWE to join his half brother? Yes. Jacob and Zilla. Yes. Jacob and Zilla Fatu are the two guys that everyone is dying to see. Do you think Solo needs more work? Solo does need more work. I think he needs to improve his mic skills, obviously, a lot more. And he needs to be more dominant in his matches. He needs to get some dubs. Like, not like every time he goes out there. He doesn't need help every time from the bloodline. I think they need to establish him. If they want to establish him as the tribal chief or head of the table, he needs to come out and get the wins on his own, but be dominant at the same time. I hope Zilla joins the good side. Okay. Yes, especially on the mic, says the wise woman about Solo. And me too, says the wise woman to Dinero. But let's see what else we got going on tonight. We have everybody's favorite person, CM Punk. CM Punk is actually going to be on Smackdown tonight. It is in Chicago. Thank you, Wiccan. Thank you, Wiccan, for that. Yeah, CM Punk will be live tonight on SmackDown. It is in Chicago. Now, me and Know Your Wrestling talked about this briefly last night. We did have a little conversation about it. In my opinion, we're gonna see something happen tonight. I honestly believe that we will see it. Somebody got filtered on TikTok. Yeah, I love it when that happens. Drew will get the loudest boos. Yes, he will get the loudest boos, but he's not scheduled to be on the show officially. Most likely test got filtered again. Drew returns. Okay, so let me get into it, De Niro. I'm going to tell you what I think will happen. He did not quit. Contractually, he cannot just quit just because he feels like quitting. He obviously has to have, go through the process and everything to be able to quit. Now, what I think happens tonight, CM Punk comes out, trolls Drew a little bit, then tells everybody, hey, by the way, my big news, the big thing I was doing on Monday night, which is why I wasn't there, is that he just tells everybody, I'm cleared. I'm cleared. I'm ready to go. His wife had emergency surgery. Okay, I'm going to get into all that. So, he's going to come out and say that. Drew just needs to show up for 5 minutes, right? He can show up tonight. He probably shows up right before the show. They tell him what he's going to do right after he leaves. He doesn't need to stay for too long. Everyone's telling me about his wife. Yes, his wife did have surgery. She has been sick. She hasn't been feeling good, which is why she wasn't in Glasgow. He did compete. But tonight, Punk, he goes, he tells everybody, hey, I'm cleared. I'm ready to go. I can do this. And then pretty much right after he says, I'm cleared, after he trolls Drew, says he's cleared, all I see is Drew pop out of the crowd or from under the ring, wherever. He jumps into the ring, beats the living hell out of CM Punk. Takes that frustration he's built up for the past few weeks and just throws the guy around, beats him up, gives him the payback for costing him the title twice already. And because the first time was WrestleMania when he was, he had just won the title, and it allowed the moment for Damian Priest to cash in. Second time was in Glasgow. Came in a ref shirt. Didn't pretended to count the count. Stopped it at 2, and it is what it is. And then he kicked, CM Punk kicked him straight in the nuts, like right in the nuts. And that was it. That's all she wrote. And she, he left. So Drew has some stuff to get off his chest. He definitely has some steam to blow off. And I think he does that tonight. I think he does, come out, beats up on CM Punk, leaves, and, everyone's saying the wife, yes, he just shows up for a few minutes, leaves. And then he has CM Punk feeling the way Drew has been feeling. Monday night we see Punk return. He cuts a promo, calling out Drew, and instead of Drew being there, maybe he comes up via satellite, or maybe he sends a message to Adam Pearce and tells him like, "Hey, me and him can go at it, but on my terms, and now I'm gonna have you waiting for me." I mean, what do y'all think of that? Do y'all think Drew has CM Punk waiting on him now? He does all that, beats him up, and all this, and that. Like, what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments what y'all think of that whole scenario. Yeah, says De Niro. We got a few people joining in on the live. Don't forget, guys, to tap on the screen, double tap. And right now, we still got the World Heavyweight title. We still have the belt giveaway going on for that. So if you send a money gun, you get 1 entry. Galaxy gets you 2. And then, of course, subscribers automatically get 1 in on that. Should Punk versus Drew be main event? It should be a co-main event or the main event. I agree with Brandon on that. It should be one of the two. And then Chris says that could happen. I mean, it really could happen. Like, let's be real. It could happen with that whole scenario, because it's more logical than anything, because let's face it, we're in CM Punk's hometown tonight, or they are. And then where did Drew get his title shot taken away from him? Then his home country in Scotland. Like, CM Punk came out in front of Drew's entire country and said, you know what, screw you, you're not getting crap tonight, and left. Showed up, raised hell, left. And why not Drew do the same? Show up, raise hell, leave. In Stone Cold fashion. Instead of stunners, somebody's getting Claymore kicked. Which I want to see. I want to see Drew give the Claymore kick to CM Punk because I feel kind of bad for Drew, even though he's been a wine bag the whole time, crying about this, crying about that. I want to see what happens when Drew finally gets his hands on Punk with Punk not looking. I thought Punk was gonna get more boos than he did. He didn't get booed more than he did, and it's crazy. I thought he would have gotten booed too, but he didn't. But let's get more comments going, guys. Let's talk more wrestling. Let's see what y'all think about some scenarios. Like, what do y'all got questions on? What do y'all got concerns about? Because I've been talking the whole time, and I've been trying to focus on the comments at the same time as well, but I'm getting very few right now. But let's see. I see Zano coming in. De Niro and Chris and Brandon, y'all been commenting the whole time. What happening, guys? But I will talk about this. You know what? I'm going to go back to a comment I saw earlier. I think we see Rhea maybe by SummerSlam. You know what? We also talked about that last night, me and Know Your Wrestling. Um, we gave our predictions of how this happens. But right now, I did see an article the other day, and it said that her rehab wasn't going as well as they hoped. That it's getting better, but not at the pace they thought. So there's a good chance that if it doesn't heal in a certain amount of time, that she'll have to have surgery. Because right now she's trying to do the rehabilitation the old-fashioned way without the surgery, just trying to heal her shoulder natural. And if it doesn't go well, then they will do surgery. So that could push back her return. But hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we get Rhea back. But the plan is I think their plan is to have her back by SummerSlam to be able to do a little something with Liv Morgan. And the way I see this happening is, Rhea's going to come back pissed. She's going to be pissed, dude. Like, you won't believe how pissed she's going to be. And Buddy I think he's still signed with AEW, so he can't get involved, for contractual obligations. But the whole thing is evolving mostly around Liv in the title and Dom Dom right now, and Liv trying to, creep her way into the Judgment Day. So she's adding fuel to the fire, and I'm going to applaud Liv for carrying the story right now, her and Dom, on the Judgment Day. Yeah, they I'm gonna applaud them for carrying the story for Rhea. And I think when Rhea comes back and she sees her Dom Dom has been you know taunted a little bit to come to the other side with Liv, and obviously the title thing, she's gonna be pissed and she's gonna take that frustration out on Liv. But I think the plan should be Rhea does not win at SummerSlam. But if they want to get the big pop, then they have Rhea win. And then they go on a little tour with this feud for a few more months. Maybe go back and forth, but I don't know. But the biggest thing is when Rhea does come back, she's going to take her frustration out on Liv Morgan. And Dom is going to be caught in the crossfires. And I told this to Know Your Wrestling. Like, what if Dom has been pledging his allegiance to Rhea, but when Rhea comes back and has this match with Liv, just what if, by some chance, Dom turns on Rhea and costs her the title? And that ends the Dom and Rhea thing. Like, what if? Like, that's just me. um, I don't know what other people think about that. I know Your Wrestling was, he was kind of feeling that story, like, but at the same time, we both were like, but where do they go from there? Where do they go from that point? I want ladder match for custody of Tom again. Everyone keeps saying that, but I don't see that happening. Um, that would be funny though. But honestly, like, I don't know where they go if they have Dom turn on Rhea and Liv goes from there. Obviously, do we see the Judgment Day stay with Rhea if she loses, or do they go with Liv? Like, what happens? And for the women's title, yeah, that would. I think it would make more sense ladder match for the ladder for the title. But then again, you don't want to put Rhea in that situation where she could potentially hurt her shoulder in a ladder match. They still haven't used the hotel key yet, right? I think they were teasing it again, but I think they were mostly teasing Dom's vest that was on Liv on Monday. I hope not, says P. De Niro. I don't know, like that hotel key segment was fire. I thought it was dope. I liked it, and I actually posted a video of it, the other day or last week after, and I was like, they're acting a fool with this key. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what they do. But one more topic I'm going to touch on before I wrap this up. As I said, I would come up on here for a little while, just talk with you guys. Because I do got some stuff to do before I go to work. Carlito wants it too. Carlito, I liked his expression when Dom dropped the keys. Like, she gave me her hotel key. He goes, "That's cool." That was pretty dope. That was like classic Carlito. That's cool. But I did see that uh, there are Twitch streamers, some TikTok streamers that are actually able to show TNA now. With that being said, um, I do plan on probably doing the same, showing that in the future. But obviously, I gotta have my schedule correct because right now I'm working all day on Thursdays because I'm shorthanded at work. But in the future, when I do get another employee and have help on Thursdays where I can leave work a little early to come stream, I will plan on doing the TNA streaming because I do watch TNA. Not every week, but I do watch it. Um, and I've been getting back into it more and more since the collaboration with WWE and TNA, of course. Because let's be real, like there's a lot of interesting things that can happen from this collaboration. There's a lot of things that they can do really well for both companies. And I'm going to touch on what Bully Ray said. I think it was Bully Ray or Dave LaGreca from Busted Open podcast. And they both believe that since they're doing this collaboration, it could benefit NXT a little more because the way NXT has been developed. What WWE does is, I laugh so hard at that. Yeah. But what they do is they go out and look for athletes, right? They look for athletes that are, probably didn't get a scholarship somewhere, probably didn't make it in, professional sports. Like they don't have nowhere to go. So, since they're athletes, they're like, "Hey, why don't you come give this a try?" And so a lot of the talent that's in NXT hasn't really had the opportunity to step outside of that box, and because they didn't come from the independent scene, they didn't have any other formal training. They've only been trained in the NXT way, and I got Know Your Wrestling coming in and trolling on me. Like, last night we brought that up that he's a troll. He always comes into my lives and just trolls. But what's up, Know Your Wrestling? How's it going? He's CM Punk. I'm Drew McIntyre. Like, he just shows up, trolls, leaves. Oh dang! Hashtag KY Jelly. The wise one says, "Hey, KY Jelly." Alrighty, but yeah. So back to the topic. A lot of the NXT stars are not independent wrestlers. They never came from the independent scene, so they don't have any other formal training outside of that. So that's why I think the collaboration they're doing, probably sending some NXT stars to TNA to get repetition with other promotions outside of where they're at could benefit them because let's be real, they train with each other, they came up together, they're comfortable with each other. So now if you send, these homegrown talent to TNA to have matches with them guys, some of those guys did have to come up from the independent scene. A lot of those guys had to come from other places to get where they're at in TNA. So it benefits NXT to work with them guys to help develop the talent, to have them have more repetition outside of the WWE, outside of their training facilities, and, make them better. And it's good for TNA to come to NXT because let's be real, a lot of us don't have access to the program that TNA comes on, which is like Access TV or something like that. And a lot of us don't. A lot of people don't know you can pay for a subscription on YouTube or their other platforms to be able to watch it as well. But let's be real, a lot of us ain't gonna pay just to watch one show a week. But you could also have access to the library and all that too. But again, but they get more publicity, more exposure by bringing their stars to NXT. And obviously it showed because Tuesday night we had Kazarian, a guy that's been, with TNA for years. Like he started in TNA, he got his big break in TNA, and he's been there for a long time. So when I saw him in the Battle Royal, I was like, holy crap, finally, Kazarian is actually going to get more exposure than just the realms of TNA television because he's a great talent. Let's face it, he's a great talent. And also, everyone's been waiting for it. It happened. It finally happened on Tuesday. The debut of Joe Hendry. I know you're wrestling right now is probably playing the song, jamming out, dancing, twerking in his garage, jamming out to Joe Hendry's song. But, you know, it is what it is. It's yeah. See, there you go. He's clapping right now. I was in disbelief, says De Niro. Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, I was too. I believe, says No You Wrestling. But, it happened. It finally happened. Joe Hendry showed up. And they are planning on possibly more dates with him to show up on NXT. And I said this to Know Your Wrestling yesterday that, I thought it was dope. It's finally happening. He's going to get more exposure. The timing for this is perfect because, his name is out there right now because he self promoted himself. And, when they were in Glasgow, WWE, they had all these billboards of Joe Hendry over there. So I think this is dope. I think if they're gonna bring him in, they need to do it right because obviously he was only there for a few minutes the other night. I think you know they have a lot of potential to do more with him down the road. He deserves it, says De Niro. Yes, he does. When a guy shows up, we now need we now just need to help WTP believe. I'm not gonna lie, the freaking song is catchy. The gimmick he has is catchy. I like the guy. That cheesy smile he had on Tuesday, I think it was more of excitement and everything. His hard work is he believes his hard work is finally paying off. Obviously in TNA, he's getting a bigger push, and obviously being able to be in NXT at the same time, WWE platform, he's getting more exposure, and that's where his hard work is paying off. Because most of the time when a star shows up, like from another company, most WWE fans don't know who the hell they are. Like I know when Ethan Page showed up, wrestling fans were like, they knew who he was, but WWE fans were like, who the hell is that? Like what's the deal with him? Say his name and he appears, I believe, in George Hendry Clap. Cactus Jack, what's up, man? How's it going? But yeah, so some people don't know who these guys are, but obviously with Joe Hendry, it's a special case because that song went viral and everything, and everybody knew who he was. So everyone was like ecstatic. They were stoked. They were happy to see him, which because of that, we'll probably get more of him. It's going all right, says Cactus. That's what's up. But again, guys, if you don't follow me on the other platforms, make sure you go follow me. I'm actually, like I said, we're live on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok right now, which I'm happy to say, like, it's freaking awesome that I'm able to go live on all these platforms all at the same time because, man, we need the WTP family to grow. I need it to grow bigger than what it is because for some reason, KY Jelly over there, Know Your Wrestling, or whatever he wants to call himself these days, he believes that his his family, his community is better than ours. He's always talking trash about us. I let it slide. I'm like, you know. Every time, whenever you start growing bigger and bigger, it's like, you gotta have a couple haters. A couple haters. He's just a hater. Like, don't know how to describe it. Believe. See, he's trolling right now. He's like, believe. I know. Know what? Know that you're the second best at everything you do because Know Your Wrestling's better. Not Know Your Wrestling. Crap. He got me. He's in my mind right now. He's in my head. Get out. Get out, you demon. WTP is way better. We all know WTP is the number one show all across. But man, the other, like, I was in his head in his live the other day. I was in his live and he actually said, "No, you're wrestling. Get out of here." I was like, "What? You're on your own show, fool. How are you gonna get out?" It's like he's the Rock and we're Cody. But he's not the final boss. Don't ever consider him the final boss. He's more like that cousin that's just to the side that everyone just brings around because mom made him come. Like mom made us bring him, like he's that cousin. Like he just came because our mom made us bring him to the cookout and to the party, whatever. We have to hang out with him because then, we're gonna get in trouble. But nah, he knows we're the best. He knows like we're the best. He's even called me out to a battle. KY Jelly reminds me of Gilbert. He reminds you of Goldberg. He's running now. I don't think he's even in the live anymore. He took off. Once I started calling him out, letting everybody know what he's been saying about us, he took off. And that's what he does. He talks. When you call him out, he leaves. Like he'll respond with one little comment, then he'll leave again. He's gonna cry in the car because I'm talking about him. Novel Jamie, appreciate you joining us on over there on Instagram. I appreciate that. Make sure you follow as well. Um, and if y'all haven't seen the clips, make sure y'all watch the clips of the little show we had last night with me and Know Your Wrestling. I thought it was entertaining. Like, I'm going to give you a brief breakdown. There's a clip that you're going to see. And it's me and him. We're getting towards the end of the show we had. And this was not planned. We did not plan this whatsoever when this happened. We actually were talking. And he was like, "What do we talk about now? What big topic and this and that?" And out of nowhere, we both said Seth Rollins at the same time. And we had a moment with the Step Brothers thing, and he was like, "Did we just become best friends?" I was like, "I think we did," and blah blah blah. It was just a funny little segment. Like I was like, "Damn, that was just like pure gold right there." I didn't expect that to happen. Obviously, he's in my head. He's a mind reader or something. But Yeah, I just thought that was funny. It was hilarious to me. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he comes back onto the platform another day. But it was fun. Last night was fun. Today was fun. I liked coming on here in the morning, spending time with everybody, talking some wrestling. But I am going to wrap it up here. I am going to go eat breakfast or lunch, whatever you want to call it, at this time of day. Brunch, I believe, is what they call it. But I'm going to go do that, chill before work. And I might be back after SmackDown so we can talk SmackDown. Uh, so yeah, be on the lookout for my live tonight. I'll probably be live after SmackDown just to talk about it with y'all guys. But until then, guys, y'all stay safe and thanks for sharing. Have a great day. You too. Thank you and